again, this is Miss Israel coming at you from Einstein High School, and for this video we're actually going to do 3 problems. So we're in Unit 2, Topic 1, and we're going to do questions 22, 23, and 24. Alright, number 22. Look at the graph below. Which of the following points, if added to the graph above, will cause the relation not to be a function? Alright, not to be a function. Well, what is a function? Alright, a function is a relationship between two variables for which every x value has exactly one y value. Let's see what that might look like here. So I'll give you an example and a non-example. So we have, this is a function and this is going to be not a function. Alright, I'm just going to use a table here to demonstrate. So we have a relation, so that's just between two variables, x and y. And let's say we have 0, 1, 2, 3 are our x values, and 5, 6, 7, 8 are our y values. And so if you notice, we have 4 unique values of x, so we don't have any x values that repeat. Let's look at what is not a function. Same thing, let's look at a table. So we have a relation here between x and y. And what I'm going to do here is make this not a function. And what I hope you'll notice is I have an x value there that repeats. And so for that value of x, it doesn't have exactly one value of y. It actually has 2 different values of y, and that's what makes this not a function. So we don't like that. We want our x values to have only one y value. Okay, so now that we know what a function is and what we're looking for, let's go ahead and answer this question. Which of the following points, if added to the graph above, will cause the relation to not be a function? So what I want to do, let's just add the points to the graph and we'll see from there which one of these is going to make it not a function. So let's start with A, point 2, 3. I'm going to go over 2 and up 3 and put a point, and I recommend that you label the point on your graph so we don't get confused when we go to answer the question. Point B is 4, 2. Point at 4, 2 for B. Point C is 3, negative 2. So I'm going to go over 3 and down 2. And point D is at 0, negative 4. So what we're looking for is there a value of x on our graph now that has more than one value of y? So if I go over and look at this point, I have the point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5. No other point has the x value negative 5. Here I have an x value of negative 2, and there's no other point on that graph that has an x value of negative 2. I have the point 0, negative 4, so there's no value of x that is also going to be, there's no other point when x equals 0. I have the point at x equals 1, and there's no other point for which x equals 1. A, again, no other point. And here, when x equals negative 3, I see that I have 2 different values of y for that. So when x equals 3, y equals 0 and negative 2. And that's a no-no. We want exactly one y value, so the correct answer in this case is C, because when x equals 3, there are 2 different values of y. Moving on to 23. Which of the following statements is true about the statement f of 5 equals 12? So we read this, f of 5 equals 12. And so this is function notation, so we're dealing with f of x. So we know here that when x equals 5, our f or y value is going to be 12. So when the function is located at x equals 5, we have a value of y equals 12. And that can be represented by the ordered pair 5, 12. Okay, remember an ordered pair is going to be X and Y. Okay, so let's look at our answer choices. We want to know which of the following statements is true about the statement f of 5 equals 12. A, the point 512 is on the graph of the function. Well, sure enough, we just figured that out. So that's definitely true. I'm just going to put a check mark for now. Just to double check, let's go through all the answer choices. Maybe we made a mistake. So we want to make sure that B and C are definitely not true. The number 5 is an element of the range. Well, range is a y value. Is 5 our y value? No, 5 is our x value. All right, so we know that B is not true. 12 would be the value of the independent variable, where the independent variable is x, and 5 would be the value of the dependent variable, which is y. And again, we don't have the point 12.5, we have the point 512, so that's not correct, and we were good with A as our answer choice. The point 512 is on the graph of the function. All right, moving on to number 24. If f of x equals 3x minus 2, what is the value of f of 5? So if we're dealing with a function f of x, then f of 5 means that x equals 5. So we want to know the value of this function when x equals 5. So instead of x here and here, I'm going to put 5 and simplify. So I want to know what f of 5 is. I'm going to use substitution and substitute 5. And then I'm going to use our order of operations, PEMDAS, to simplify the right side of this equation. So I have 3 times 5 is 15. I do multiplication before subtraction. And 15 minus 2 is 13. So we know that f of 5 is equal to 13. And that's going to be answer B. And that does it for questions 22, 23, and 24.